Hello and welcome back. Today I have another ink review video for you. This one's super cute. It's got a little dinosaur on it. And this one is by Inkebara. And I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'll try. It looks like Kopi-o Kosong. And I don't know what this is, as far as like what it's going to look like or anything, because I haven't tried it yet. So let's see how it looks. It's super, super cute on the packaging though. So this looks like it's going to be a brown ink. So maybe it's like coffee or tea or something. Very cute. Very, very wet on the paper. That was surprising. This picked up a lot of ink, which typically, I mean, it normally does pick up quite a bit, but not that much. Wow. Okay, so I guess if you want a wet ink, this is a wet ink, I'm guessing. I am new to fountain pens and fountain pen ink, so I might be wrong about everything I say. So just keep that in mind, but that was my thought when I put that down, was like, whoa, was not expecting that much. Okay, so this is, let's see. And this is by Inkebara. All right. I'm going to set this aside to hopefully dry. You can see how it looks so far. Very pretty, very shiny, and soaking wet. So let me just set this aside. I will probably need to put that under the fan, I'm guessing. All right, this is copy paper. We're going to test it on here next. I like to test it on copy paper just because sometimes it's all you have available at the moment. Maybe you're at work or school and you don't have access to some nicer paper. So we'll see how this looks. So far it seems fine. And this is copy paper. Write that on there. Okay. So let's just take a quick look. It does need a little more time to dry. I don't see any feathering though. And it looks like there might be some shading, possibly. We'll let that dry and see. Normally on copy paper, plain copy paper, you don't get to see the special effects like shading very often, just because of how copy paper is. Alright, this is HP 32 paper. Normally, if there are any special effects in the inks, you can see most of them on this paper. So I do like using this from time to time if I can't get Tomoe River. This is HP 32. And yeah, it does look like there might be some shading. I'm going to, of course, need to let the ink dry before we can tell for sure, but that's what it's looking like to me. Very nice color so far. This is a really, really rich color. Alright, and this is Tomoe River. And if you haven't used it before, this paper is super, super smooth. The ink typically will show most of its special effects on this paper. So if you have something that maybe you purchased expecting it to look one way and it doesn't look anything like it's supposed to, try getting some Tomoe River paper and try again and see if the ink looks better. And that solved all of my problems. So when I found out that the paper actually made a difference, I was pretty surprised. That was not what I would have expected. This is Tomoe River. And I do have some Amazon affiliate links down below if you are looking for these papers and you're not sure where to get them. That is one option. Whoops. And of course it doesn't cost you anything extra to do that, but it helps me out a little bit. Okay, so there's that, and we're going to let this dry. I'm going to clean this off real quick, and then I'm probably going to have to put it under a fan, I think, so I might pause this, put it under a fan, and then I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. So, it does look like we've got shading on here, so let's just take a look. Yes, so you can see, like on the Tomoe River especially here, it goes from light brown to dark brown, and it's got very lovely shading. You can see it in here. It's kind of a reddish toned brown, I think. Very pretty. On here on the HP32, you can definitely see that shading as well. Very, very nice how it looks on this paper. And then on the copy paper, which is kind of interesting, this is something that happens a lot, I've noticed with copy paper. If there is a two-toned ink, it'll show one color or the other sometimes. And you can see on here, this shows a very reddish brown, which it actually looks really nice. It's very different from the other papers. No feathering, no issues at all. This looks great, although there really isn't much shading. There's almost none. It's very, very slight in a couple of these letters. You can see a tiny, tiny bit, but it mostly shows that red tone. Then you hold it up to this, it looks like, these look like two different colors. You got this darker brown on these two papers, and then on the copy paper, it's this red brown. So it's like a dark red brown, but this is definitely much, much, much darker. So this darker color doesn't show up at all on the copy paper, and I've noticed that happens sometimes. But on these two papers, because you can see the shading, you get to see that reddish brown in the shading. So you get to see both colors. So it's almost like this absorbs all the dark color, and this absorbs, and this shows off both colors instead. It always surprises me when I see this. I don't know why, but but this is why I do this, so you can see, you know, how your ink is going to look. Because if you see a swatch online that looks like this, but all you have is copy paper, you'll wonder if you got the right ink. So that's why I do this. So just try some different papers with your inks and see if you notice the different colors. If you're new like me, it's really, really fun to experiment and see what these inks look like under different conditions. And then I've also got the swatch, and this swatch is really pretty as well. You can see the reddish brown up here pretty clearly, and then it goes down to this much, much darker brown color down here, and you can see the shading and the writing pretty clearly on the swatch. So I really, really like this. This is a really pretty ink. It's got really nice shading, a very rich color, and it's very, like I showed you, it was very wet when I put the ink on the swatch. It was just like a ton of ink all at once. And I thought that was pretty interesting as well. This is like probably the wettest ink that I've tested so far. So this is a great ink if you are looking for a really nice brown that has some nice shading that's a little bit darker. I definitely recommend this one. So I'll be leaving a link for this down below. And if there are any other colors you'd like to see me review, definitely leave a comment. I try to reply to everybody. And if it's an ink that I can get, or if it's one that I have, we'll do a review of it. And if you... Oh, yes, and please like and subscribe so you can see more. And thank you for watching. Have a great day.